Miss Taken, your older sister sound like a good woman. She
See,
sound
and
like
that's
a, yeah.
just don't understand. So we're all a year apart, like literally, we're like back to back to back, all a year apart. Um, and a lot of guys I hear say that that is a great woman, right? Because if y'all fail, and I don't mean fail, if y'all make a poor decision that's going to impact the entire family, and she knows that she don't say nothing and just let y'all, let it fail. To me, I don't think that that is using the gift of discernment. You know what I mean? And so I think there's a balance between following, your husband, but following him to the detriment of the family is not using discernment. My older sister, like when it came to any boyfriend, it wasn't like a facade or anything. That was just who she was with the guy she was with.
Hmm.
Like even now, I remember one time we had a conversation, me and my middle sister was asking her, because it was, you talk about your marriage sometimes, share information. And so it was where we were asking things like, so you won't say anything? Like, let's say he made a decision that you knew was a bad decision and y'all would end up in the street. You would just follow that and knowing that you could have a plan. And she was like, yeah, if we end up on the street, like we're gonna end up on the street together. And me and my other sister, we were like, nah, I refuse to let my family end up on the street when I know we have the capability to make a different
Right.
decision. So, but she's the type, if we gotta, jump off the bridge, we're gonna all jump off the bridge.
You're gonna let him lead in under any circumstances. I
Yeah.
feel like that's funny because with my sister, she would be like, "Nah, we not ending up on the street, partner." Because I know how to get us off the street. So let me just handle this real quick. And I think it goes back to like just how I guess the family dynamic is because yeah, that wasn't happening with my oldest sister. She's 6 years older than me, so and that's the biggest complaint I get from her boyfriends. And I try to tell her or her man friends, I try to tell her, maybe it's her type that's the problem, and she needs to be with somebody that's more welcoming to her competence and her knowledge about how a household is ran. You know,
Miss Taken, your older sister sound like a good woman. She
See,
sound
and
like
that's
a, yeah.
I just don't understand. So we're all a year apart, like literally, we're like back to back to back, all a year apart. Um, and a lot of guys I hear say that that is a great woman, right? Because if y'all fail, and I don't mean fail, if y'all make a poor decision that's going to impact the entire family, and she knows that she don't say nothing and just let y'all, let it fail. To me, I don't think that that is using the gift of discernment. You know what I mean? And so I think there's a balance between following, your husband, but following him to the detriment of the family is not using discernment. When you guys have the ability to like not end up in a situation, um, just following blindly is
So
not
yeah,
benefiting anybody. And
yeah,
what are you teaching your kids too? Not just the male children, but also the female children as well, is that when you know something to be wrong and you don't voice it, and you just follow along with the crowd, or just follow along, to me that is not teaching a
mhm.
balance between following what's right and then speaking up when something isn't.
Yeah. No,
I have a legit non confrontational question. Mont,
mhm.
you would rather have a woman, even if it's a mistake and you slipping, no judgment on your manhood that would let you lead the family into the street, than to a woman that be like, nah, I got this going on over here. We don't have to be on the street. You would rather have the woman that be like, I'm gonna follow you to the street. Is that are you serious
Yeah.
or
No, I'm gonna clarify exactly what I think.
okay?
I
Okay.
think that it is a woman. I think that as a woman being a helpmate, right, it's her responsibility to tell you what she sees. She's a second set of eyes. So if you think that I'm wrong, or if you think that you got, something is better, let me know. And then once I contemplate it, I might still decide to make that decision. Right now, if I still decide to make that decision, are you going to override me, or are you going to, allow me to make that mistake? So you give me all of the information that you have. You say, hey, this is a bad decision. I think that we should be doing this. And I feel confident that we should be doing this, right? And your man, as the leader, he says, okay, I'm going to take that into consideration. I hear you. However, I think that this is what we should be doing. Are you going to allow him to make that mistake, or are you going to say, you know what? I can't let you do this. I'm going to take the kids and we're going to go and do this. What would you do?
I'm going to speak from my sister's standpoint, and then I'm going to speak for mine. For my sister, if there's kids involved, she'd probably be like, just let me know when I can't have the kids I can't have the babies on the street, baby. We got to do something different. Now, if it was me and there's no kids involved, maybe I don't think I would. I don't think I would end up with a guy that would be detrimentally putting me on the street.
Mhm.
That's just where I stand. But if it was an accident, no, I wouldn't leave him. Would I give him suggestions to get us off the street because I don't like sleeping on curbs? Absolutely. But would I override him and like, oh, let's overthrow the king? No. My big sister, on the other hand, I don't think she's letting her kids sleep on the street though, because she knows how to fix that.
Yeah. I think as life is a journey, and when you decide to go through life together with your man, like everybody has been through so many things in life. I've made mistakes, I've made poor choices. And all it did was teach me things. So I'm trying to think of if I was in a situation where, it ended up, we ended up having to be on the street for a few days, whatever, right? Me as a man, my woman, by the time she's with me to that extent and we have kids, she should already be completely confident that no matter what happens, we're always going to be okay. Oh, we on it, we doing this for I know that he got us regardless of, and he made a poor decision, but I'm confident that my man will see that he made a poor decision and that he will learn and he'll be stronger from that and we'll be stronger from that. But I don't think at any point, if you think that you with a man and you're a better leader than him, then go be with another man or be by yourself. But nine, I know for me, I'm not always going to be right, but 90 to 95% of the time, I know what I'm talking about, and I'm also good at realizing I made a bad decision and I pivot really fast. Like, so that's all a part of being a leader. It's not about always being right, but sometimes you have to, like with your kids, sometimes you got to trust your kids to make a mistake, and you have to trust that they're going to learn from that mistake, even though you know that they're wrong.
So I'm sorry, Jr. One, because I know you, the mediator. One more thing. So I have a question for you. If your significant other is like, hey, I got this, and this going on, and we gonna sleep in a hotel tonight opposed to the street, would you feel like that's an overthrow? I mean, I guess it depends on
No,
what you feel like the overthrow is.
no, we a team. If she, I mean, as long as you didn't go about it in a way that I wouldn't approve, like you going get some nigga money and like, yo, he got us a
Oh, well,
hotel.
yeah, no,
Yeah, as
no,
long as
yeah.
if you made something happen, then we a team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's all I was trying to figure out. Okay, that
yeah.
makes
Sure.
sense.
Sure, I'll be like, do anything you can. I need a nice little warm meal. If you gotta go out, go out.
I agree to a certain extent. I'm not saying that if a woman questions or a wife questions if her husband is making a certain decision and we know it's going to go wrong, it's almost like if I'm the passenger and you're in the car and you're getting ready to crash, am I not supposed to say anything because you're the leader? The point that I want to make is I understand that men are leaders, and I'm not, again, trying to overthrow your leadership. But I just want to make sure when you're operating as a leader that you're operating not in ego, right? But in spirit. And sometimes your wife, as your helpmate, is going to see through that second lens that you need, that level of discernment that sometimes you can't see, right? And I get it. Like, if she's going to go and she's going to be put up and the kids are going to be put up, like, your ego is like stopping you from coming with her. I don't know if it's to her parents' house, wherever it is. It's almost like when you're in that mode, you don't want to ask for help. You don't want to reach out, like you want to figure it out on your own. And we get that, but sometimes you can't figure that shit out on your own. Like, you need your village, you need people to help and support you. And I get that that's an emotional response. I'm going to let you have your time. But again, as your helpmate, as your wife, as your support system as well, I need for you to see that this is not beneficial for either of us. And again, sometimes you all shut down in the midst of crisis, and that's what you do. And you like try to wrap that as stoicism when it's really like, I need you to just say you need help and let me help, let us help. Just saying. I love leadership, I do. But you got to be a great listener and let other people listen too. Like, you have to listen to other people. Just saying. I love y'all.
I love how you articulated that, Ms. Pearl. And I've listened to most of the women convey this. And this is always interesting that it seems that there is